the internet. Welcome to Unprofessional Movie Reviews, or UMR, as I like to call it when I'm not doing a movie. I'll be reviewing the second episode of Westworld. Yes, I know that it's a Tuesday and it came out on Sunday. I watched it on Sunday. I also watched it again. But I've been super busy working 12-hour graveyard shifts. Just got off work, so I haven't slept for a long time. And I have a day off today, so I'm going to review Westworld episode 2 called Chestnut, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I might even upload it before I go to sleep. I might not upload it. Who knows? Okay, the way that my TV episode reviews work is I'm going to give you a quick little play-by-play synopsis without spoilering much, and a non-spoilery review. Tell you actually kind of in a broad way how I feel about it. And then I'm going to give it a rating between 0 and 5. I haven't even thought about what I'm going to rate it yet. And then after my 0 and 5 rating, I'll probably be doing on my hands. By the way, I'm Mark. I don't know if I said that. And after my rating, then I'll tell you to go if you haven't seen the episode yet and if you don't want to be spoiled. I'm going to say, all right, that was my rating. Go if you just want to know if it's good or not. Then I'll tell you that. And then after you go or you stay, then I'm going to really break down, get into the spoilers, and talk for a while. Because I tend to ramble, as you can already tell. That's what I do on this show. So the episode was named Chestnut. It's the second episode. Yeah, the first episode, if I had any criticism for it, and I probably didn't even bring this up now that I'm just looking back at it. If I had any criticism for the first episode, and it's not even a bad criticism, it was trying to tell a lot, and it didn't give you a lot of details because it wanted to give you the whole plate right away. And it was hard to shove that whole plate in your mouth right away. So instead, let's make an analogy. Let's say it was a giant buffet, and you didn't really get a good taste of what everything in the buffet is. You don't really know what your favorite thing is because instead of just giving you a lot of the beans and then a lot of the chicken, what the first episode did was give you one bite of like 30 different things. And it was really hard with that, just a little bit of a lot of stuff, except for Dolores Evan Rachel Wood's character that gave you a lot of that first episode. It was really hard to... With that analogy, it'd be really hard to decide what your favorite food is, or if you ever want to come back to the buffet because you did enjoy it, but you only got a little bit of everything. This episode lets you finish the meal. This episode gives you a lot more of what's going on. You're learning a lot more about the characters, and Jeffrey Wright, I believe is his name, Jeffrey Wright playing Bernard, is just awesome. Evan Rachel Wood's really good, and then Fanny Newton, whatever her name is, who's playing, I don't even know how to say it, one of the chicks at the brothel, Maeve Mullany? I don't know how to say her name. But anyways, she probably stole this episode. She's super good, Fatty Newton. James Marsden kind of took a step back in this episode, and Ed Harris was in full boom in this episode. So if I'm taking anything out of it, it's kind of the characters who you didn't really see a lot of in the first episode, like the main chick who runs the brothel. There's a really amazing scene. I'm not going to spoiler it until I get to the spoils, but yeah, holy crap, she's really good. So, did I like this episode? Yeah, I did. I probably, looking back at this episode, made me actually realize my criticisms for the first episode. I believe I gave the first episode a pretty high rating, and I almost want to rate it worse now, because now I can see what this show's giving me. My expectations should have been higher, because this episode's so much better. And if my expectations are being set by this episode, it's blowing the last ones out. But anyways, okay, so I'll tell you how I feel about it, and then I'll actually get into breaking down the episode and spoilering it. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to give this a 4.1 out of 5. Really good episode. Why isn't it a 5? A little slow. and it's still not telling you a lot, and that gives me not a lot to bite into to keep me interested. It should give me a little bit more of certain characters that I just don't care about yet. And that's why it's not quite to a 5. But the fact that it has like 4 or 5 characters I'm really interested in, let alone world building, is this show's greatest quality. World building is just to the max. And that's what I'm really loving about this. Okay, get out of here. I'm going to start spoiling things. Alright. Let's talk about this episode. It started off a lot like the first episode, and they do this a lot, that whole Dolores, I believe is her name, Evan Rachel Wood's character, waking up in the bed, and now you're hearing Bernard's voice talking to her, telling her to remember things. Man, I'm confused by Bernard. I love Jeffrey Wright, and I said that in my first review. He's one of my favorite. He's very underrated actor. When he showed up in the Hunger Games movies, I was super excited because I really enjoy him. If you want to see a really good biopic with him, him playing Jean-Michel Basquiat in the movie Basquiat, holy crap, he's amazing. I said that last review, I'll say it again. You just got to drive it home, and yeah, he's still great in this, but I don't know what game Bernard's playing, especially with Dolores. Because then, a couple scenes later, I'm kind of going to jump around. A couple scenes later, he's actually talking to her, and then it's like they've had these conversations that it's weird. It's like is he trying to figure out, I don't know if I'm supposed to be confused, if I'm supposed to figure out what these conversations are about or not, but it seemed like he's either trying to figure out what these glitches are for, or that he's just kind of pushing them. And that maybe he didn't actually cause Abernathy, I believe was his name, but Dolores' dad, I don't think he caused that glitch or anything, but he's definitely not doing anything to solve it. It doesn't look like that, especially, why is he interested in Dolores? Why doesn't he nip that in the bud? He knows that kind of artificial intelligence could doom them. Why does he push it? I'm interested in this character so much because I'm confused by him, and that's a good thing. Okay, moving on, and I'm going to start talking about role-playing, I know it, because I'm a big nerd and I like to role-play games like Dungeons & Dragons and other stuff. I am actually currently in a couple Star Wars role-playing games. But anyways, and that's what William and his friend, I already forgot the friend's name. William's actor's name, I believe, it's Jimmy Simpson. Jimmy Simpson is playing William, and then I already forgot his friend. You know why? Alright, it's Logan, I remember. But I didn't like that friend. I loved him getting into the... William already seems like a good character, but I want to... That's another thing. I need more of William. But us looking through somebody's eyes the first time they went should have been in the first episode. And that's something that I was missing for the first episode. I'm glad we finally got to see this, of him going to the park for the first time, and us seeing that, and when the host that he meets right away, who's just drop-dead gorgeous, who she asks, like, are you curious of if I'm a host or not? And he's like, yeah, now I am. You know, I am now. Tell me. And then she's like, well, if you can't tell, then why does it matter? And yeah, that's the most convincing argument ever. If you say that to every guest who comes in, no wonder why they just constantly bang him. Because, yeah, you're right. Because I can't tell. And you're just throwing yourself at me. William, he kind of pounded us over the head with the fact that he's not bad, that he's a good guy, and that he's going to be doing good stuff, and he cares and stuff. I get that. That's fine. Whatever. We need some of those. I'm not too impressed with the character in the whole. I just really liked him as the plot device. But one good thing I did like, again, it's more of the plot, the hats. And if you didn't catch it, white hat, all the good guys are wearing white hats, and all the people who are shooting people and fucking people are wearing black hats. And then after he kind of dressed up in his kind of cowboy gear, she's like, you forgot. What kind of hat do you want? And then he grabbed that white hat. Now, I would have grabbed one of the top hats, because I love top hats. He grabbed, like, the lamest white hat. I'm just going to say that. As a hat guy, I wear a lot of hats. Oh, that's so dumb. Okay. I'm so tired, man. Alright, I'm going to keep going. Let's get to the best part. And that is, I really keep forgetting her name. I'm going to call her May for now. But she's having a conversation with a guy, and she kind of freaks him out at the brothel, and then they take her down, and then they up her aggression. And then you see her again talking to a girl this time, and she's got, like, the girl pinned up against the wall. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then, I'm not sure I might be getting this out of order, but she runs into Dolores, and Dolores tells her that thing I forgot right now, but it's the words that Abernathy said to her, so she says it to May, and then May's kind of getting all weird, and her memories are getting more and more hardcore, and she gets back down, and then I'm forgetting her name. I'll remember it in a second. Elsie. She played Sabrina in Raising Hope. Elsie works with her, and then she changes her stuff. Instead of going up the aggression, she goes up on a couple other things. And skipping ahead, you get this really awesome scene of her, like, waking up with her, like, gutted open, and she's naked, and the people around her, the engineers or whatever, are stripping her, and she's just walking around. Holy shit! That's an intense scene, because you're learning about all this stuff and seeing all the dead bodies, and she doesn't get that she's a robot. She doesn't get any of that. Imagine that. Imagine you with all the life that you have, all the memories that you have, everything that you do, just waking up in that instant. It's essentially what she went through. Maybe she's not as complex as a normal human brain, but she's pretty fucking close. And just, so much. I felt for this character, and that's a really important thing, is they're really making us feel for these robots. And that's great. I mean, I'm not sure where I'm going to go once this becomes a full-on Terminator Uprising, which I'm pretty sure is where it's headed, but, you know, I mean, a lot. The robots are pretty awesome. Okay. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's talk about Ed Harris, the Man in Black. Wearing a black hat, remember. That's why I figured it out. Alright, well, he needs to get, he's amazing, alright? This character is super terrifying. Ed Harris is just knocking out of the park. It's again with the, I don't know what's going on, so it's hard for me to be 100% interested in him yet. The fact that it's Ed Harris doing some of the best Ed Harris I've ever seen, but I don't really give a fuck about this storyline yet. I don't know what game he keeps talking about. I don't want to know what map he got a map when he scalped the guy and then he goes and gets the dude off the rope. And I mean, it's all interesting and shit, but I don't really care. I don't know what game he keeps. There's another level to this game. Everyone else just fucking hookers. Why do you keep wondering about a map? It just, I know I'm sounding really stupid. I'm going to be really stupid once we figure out what this is going on, but it's just a criticism of it's hard to just care when I'm getting 1% of what's going on with him. I don't even know the character's name yet. Just Man in Black. And not only that, but now we saw people from underground under the park watching him, and they're like, don't worry about him. He gets to do whatever he wants. Why? Are we going to find out soon? Because I don't like that whole getting a little bit of the story thing. I got to get a little bit more to actually chew the bite. You know, I don't need to swallow a bite yet, but at least give me something to bite down onto. Okay. Alright, there was that. Bernard and the other lady, they had a conversation when she was smoking and they banged. I don't know. They keep speaking in vague things. I'm not 100% sure what that conversation was about even. But they're definitely scheming on something. Now, Lee, I believe is the guy's name. He makes all these, he wanted 50 more robots, and he gets 20, and he makes all this stuff, and he does a pretty amazing pitch. He calls himself modest in it. But but he does this pretty amazing pitch of how great this story is going to be. Now that's going to go back to me being a role player. Like, everything that he just described is exactly what, like, running a role-playing game, which I will be doing after I wake up. Today, on this day, I'll be running my Star Wars role-playing game. And I always have to think about, if the players make this decision, maybe I have to make sure that the story goes this way. Or maybe they're going to make this decision, or the story can go this way. Or maybe they run up into a door, and it will be this role for them to pickpocket, or be this role for them to just break the door down. What I'm getting at is this guy, when he was describing this new story that he wanted to pitch, sounded like a game master. He sounded like what I, running a role-playing game, yeah, we call them game masters, I'm a nerd, writes down in my notebook, if the people do this, this happens. If people do this, this happens. We're going to make sure this. I thought that was cool. Lee is like a badass game master with a shit ton of robots. That's what I took out of that character. And I kind of like that character now, because I can relate to him. I run games too, buddy. Alright, that was really dumb. Okay, what's his name? It's not Ford, is it? Ford? Anthony Hopkins' character turns him down, and he goes, it's all about the details. No one gives a shit about your stupid faggy shit, alright? It's all about the details. People come back not because of all the crazy stuff that's going on, but because they find a little thing and that they think that little thing that they notice is theirs. Maybe. I mean, he's probably a little right, but you see some of the idiots who are walking around this park? They're just fucking shooting people left and right and doing crazy shit. You think they give a fuck about your little detail? Like, maybe, like, sure, I might care about the detail, but every guest who we see walking around's either shooting people, fucking people, or just creeped out by the robots. They're just, look at him. Is he real? And then the little kids are like, you're not real. You know, just, they don't seem like they give a fuck about the little details, but whatever. They've been running for more than 35 years. What do I know that Anthony Hopkins doesn't know? Nothing. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not sure if I don't know if there's anything else I really gotta bring up. It seems about right. Yeah. Okay, good episode. Liked it. Really excited to see where it's going from here. I guess, here's a little detail. James Marsden gets shot when he's talking to the girl who runs the brothel. Gets shot in the head and then shot repeatedly. I noticed something. He's wearing a black hat. I don't think he's a good guy. I think that we're going to see him do some crazy shit eventually. So that's it. That's my theory, just going off the hats. Alright, I'm going to get out of here. I give it a 4.1 out of 5. That's pretty fucking high. HBO keeps knocking it out of the park. Speaking of HBO knocking it out of the park, speaking of HBO knocking it out of the park, I did reviews for the first and second half of The Night Of. That was probably my favorite show this year, including this show. I like that one more. I'll put the review, at least for, I'll do the first 3 episodes. I'll put a link to that in the description. And yeah, as you see, I'm fucking tired. I need to get some sleep. But, alright, there you go. Watch the show, click like and subscribe, do all that internet shit, and, I don't know, go drink a beer or eat a taco or, I don't know, go get a hooker or something. Do something fun. Bye!